This is DEFCON, and it's the most terrifying game you may ever play, and I can scientifically prove it. It's a real-time strategy game created by independent British developer Introversion Software. The gameplay is a simulation of global nuclear war, with the
Wow, are you really just gonna read off the wiki?
Okay, fine. I'll just read it myself then. And the graphics may look sort of familiar to some of you. That's because this game draws heavily on film imagery from Doctor Strangelove and more notably, war games. But you're not just looking at a screen within a screen. The soundscapes really paint a picture of what's going on here. From the moment you boot up the game, you're greeted with the cold hum of computers running, fans whirling, and all sort of technology doing techie things. While this hum never stops, it quickly becomes white noise as you start your first session. Every match of DEFCON follows a similar pattern. Each player or AI is assigned a continent, except Australia because, come on.
Don't be a dickhead.
And the game allows each player to place their starting units and structures. Radar dishes determine what you can observe, silos can launch and defend against nukes. There's no mobile land units whatsoever, only air and sea. In the air, bombers have the ability to launch nukes, and jets can easily take them out, although jets themselves cannot launch nukes. While at sea, carriers can deploy both jets and bombers, battleships can destroy any sea units with ease, and submarines have stealth capabilities and can launch nukes themselves. The game starts at DEFCON 5, which is the lowest level of nuclear preparedness. This slowly ticks down through the DEFCON levels, and at each level, there are more possibilities to consider. You cannot engage in any combat until DEFCON 3, and you can't launch any nukes until DEFCON 1, but you could still try to get your units into an advantageous position to strike against your opponents. The game also features a well-fleshed-out alliances system, complete with public chats, group chats, and private messages. So if you try to sneak your submarines past someone in your alliance and your Navy ships get caught, well, you can expect a full retaliation. In my experience, the best players will try to leverage the system to come out as unscathed as possible. And I've chosen my words very carefully here, because in DEFCON and in thermonuclear war, everybody dies. In fact, that's the tagline of the game. Everybodydies.com. No nation, no continent will ever miraculously finish a match without sustaining massive casualties. Even if you win, consider most of your major cities to be completely leveled. Millions, and maybe even billions, will be wiped off the face of the earth. It's not a particularly grim take either, as nuclear weapons have become so advanced that we know for certainty there's really nothing we can do to stop a full-scale attack. And DEFCON really sells this with its ambiance. As war escalates, the once melodic soundtrack descends into a pitch-bending madness, and crying can be heard in the background. Are these the cries of the dead or the battered survivors? No. These are the cries of the people in your nuclear bunker, realizing that most, if not all, of their families, loved ones, and friends are all probably dead. And seeing your own city get erased is deeply unsettling. What's more unsettling are the tickers that pop up when a major city is attacked with a nuclear weapon. In most games, you can just snap yourself out of it and say, well, this isn't real.
Please open. Please let me save. Okay, cutscene. We're safe.
We have a harder time shrugging it off here because you have to add, this isn't real yet. In fact, this game has proved to be so influential that Concordia University ran a study on how this game may affect players' attitudes and emotional responses related to nuclear conflict and deterrence. In this study, researchers gave one group an article to read about nuclear war, and the other group played DEFCON, and they interviewed both groups before and after. The group that read the article showed a clear shift in their attitudes toward nuclear proliferation and the likelihood of nuclear war. But what's really interesting is that the group that played DEFCON experienced similar changes, and in some cases, those changes were completely unexpected. It makes you think about how close we might be to a nuclear war, how close the world might be to destruction, and how close the countries are in monitoring other states' nuclear capabilities, and how we could be right at the tipping point. Many participants remarked about the strangeness of being clearly detached from all the actual violence happening. Those other popular games I mentioned, like Call of Duty and Battlefield, it seems like your role in them is that you're one of the soldiers, or you're one of the people that is really in the thick of it. Whereas this one takes the stance that you're somebody from a position of power and you're moving pieces around on a board. You're controlling people, but you're not included in it. So it's more different. I guess it's worse, because you're controlling other people's lives, but you, from wherever you are, you're not at risk. In fact, the study describes a significant portion of participants who felt a strong feeling of what they would describe as a detachment or a certain lostness from the experience of playing DEFCON. It forces them to confront the possibility of the worst, so far at least, integral accident that humanity has made possible. It is the opening for reflection that is the essence of DEFCON's educative potential vis-a-vis. What does vis-a-vis mean? Okay, pause. I showed this video to a ton of my friends before posting on YouTube, and they all said, "Oh, you don't know what vis-a-vis means? What?" Am I the only person that does not know what vis-a-vis means? One of the most interesting results is that the people who played DEFCON reported in their post-interview that they felt nuclear war would be less likely, but they were also less confident that they would survive one compared to the people who just read informative articles about the topic. Let's break that down for a moment. DEFCON had forced people to confront a scenario that was so apocalyptic and futile that they concluded that no rational group would ever start a nuclear conflict. The act of playing DEFCON had literally changed them. And how often do you see that in gaming? Now, I want to tell you about my favorite game mode in this game back when it had a thriving online community, and that was Diplomacy mode. Diplomacy mode was actually a blast, and that's because in this mode, everyone started on the same team, but only one player can win, and the DEFCON timer is ticking. What would you do? Would you detach from the alliance early and stand your ground? Well, that just makes you an easy target. Would you stay silent and hope that no one notices you? Others might be messaging each other and talk about how you're not doing anything anyways, so might as well conspire against you. It was a fascinating social experiment each time. It's a deeply unsettling game that's actually kind of fun to play. And as always, in DEFCON and thermonuclear war, everybody dies. Everybody loses. It's just about who can lose the least. Or is it? In making this video, I wanted to record some footage of the diplomacy mode, so naturally, I queued up all the AI and pressed start. And something really interesting happened. The AI acts normal at first, placing down their units tactically to prepare for the upcoming conflict. And then the DEFCON countdown begins. DEFCON 4, 3, 2, and 1. All the AI, they just sort of hang out. It's probably not intentional. Maybe the AI was just not programmed to be deceptive and try to win in this game mode. Or maybe not. Introversion Games is a tack-sharp group of developers who tend to do exceptionally well with game theory. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but hey, here's to wishful thinking. And here's to Introversion Software for making a great thought-provoking game. And here's to Diplomacy mode, to your safety and to mine.
Strange game. The only winning move is not to play.